Hi there. Okay, so lots of stuff happening. I am now an official certified Zumba instructor. I went to my training on Sunday and it was like 8 or 9 hours of learning all about Zumba, and there's so much to learn about the brand itself, let alone all the different moves and everything, like the technical moves. Um, the studio that I go to is more of like a dance type studio, so she doesn't really follow the Zumba protocol. So they gave us DVDs to learn choreography, and there were a lot of people there. It was really cool. So I am now able to teach Zumba. I can teach my passion. Basically, the next step is I need to make a playlist and figure out what songs I want to use for my class and learn some choreography, make up some choreography. I have a dance background. When I was younger, I danced for years and years, and then I did musical theater, I did show choir, and I've done it my whole life. So I've never really choreographed, but there's a lot of stuff that's in my head when I listen to songs that I think just kind of will come naturally to me. There are basic moves that Zumba teaches you to use and everything, and you're allowed to copy their choreography. So once I get about 14 or 15 songs that I have choreography to and I memorized and everything, then I can start to apply for jobs and go on auditions. You have to audition, and I think teaching Zumba is going to be a whole different ballgame than just doing Zumba and learning how to, just be a presenter and be a teacher and not just be a dancer. So that's going to be a challenge, but I will definitely practice, and I'm gonna do, probably my first class will be like friends and family, if I can find a place that I can rent out for an hour or whatever. So let's see. Not going to go into details, but there was an issue at the studio that I currently go to where the owner of the studio, who's also my favorite Zumba instructor, she's someone that I look up to. She's the person that got me into Zumba, and I hold her in very high regard. And she's always made me feel really good about myself, and she's made me feel confident and sexy and like I was good enough. So she's what kind of got me on this whole Zumba kick, and there are other teachers that I enjoy as well and that have also given me confidence throughout these past 2 years. And this weekend there was sort of a little issue where she made me feel like I wasn't good enough, she basically told me that I wouldn't be, probably wouldn't be teaching at her studio, which I already knew. I wasn't going to even, apply there or anything because she has her set girls and everything. But she basically just kind of put me down. She didn't mean to. I know she didn't do it on purpose. But the way that she went about it, I think, was completely unprofessional. And whether she realized what she was doing or not, it lowered my confidence in myself and lowered my motivation. And honestly, I thought about maybe just not going back. And last night I was debating on whether to go or not. I did talk to her about it a little bit just through Facebook messaging because I never have time to see her or talk to her. And she responded and whatever, everything was okay. But I just feel like it's very cliquey at the place I go, and I am like Facebook friends with a lot of the girls, and some of them I talk to and some of them are really nice and whatever, but there's like definitely a clique, and she definitely has her favorites, and I get it, they're her friends, it happens that way. But the thing is, I know I'm a good dancer, and I let her make me feel like I wasn't good enough. It's not all her fault. I realized that I was very upset about it. I ended up crying about it. I got upset about it. And I was talking to my mom, and she was kind of like going over everything with me, and she's a good person to talk to about stuff like that. But anyway, I kind of realized, thinking about it the past couple of days, that not everyone's gonna love me. Not everyone's gonna think I'm great. Not everyone's gonna think I'm the best dancer or the best singer or the best whatever. With anybody and any talent you have, people are gonna like you, people are gonna not like you. It's just part of the business. It's part of what happens. And anything that you're good at, painting, whatever, any kind of hobby you have, some people are gonna really like you, and some people are just not gonna like your style. And that's okay. And it kind of made me realize that I was letting her decide how good I was. And because I held her in such high esteem and I looked up to her so much and thought she was awesome, and I wanted her to think that I was like the best and, you know, one of the better girls and whatever, which I personally think I am one of the better girls. But you know, I was giving her the power to make me feel a certain way. So just a little learning lesson for me and for any of you out there that are struggling with something similar. You know, you have to have the confidence in yourself to know that you might get shut down in life, and no matter what you're doing, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a hobby, a passion, there's going to be times where you're going to get shut down and you're going to be tested and you're going to wonder, like, why am I even doing this? Should I keep doing this? Like, was this the right decision for me? Should I even be teaching Zumba if this woman doesn't think that I'm, you know, good enough to teach at her studio? And again, she didn't say it in so many words. She wasn't like mean about it. But the point is that I'm the one who decided that I want to keep going and that I think I'm good enough. And last night I decided that if I didn't go back to Zumba at her studio, I probably wouldn't be back. And I'm one of those people that if there's a conflict, if there's an issue, I'll just quit and I'll say forget it. And that's what I've done my whole life. And I decided to, even though it was going to be awkward and uncomfortable, I faced it. I went, I smiled, I danced my ass off like I do every night at Zumba. And even though in the back of my head I thought, like, well, she doesn't necessarily think that I'm a good enough girl, but I was like looking in the mirror and I'm like, no, you are good enough. And I put my big girl pants on, and it was really hard for me. It was really hard for me to do that and to pretend like I wasn't hurting, and you know, because I know what she thinks of me. But it's not up to her. I gave her that power, and now I'm taking that power back. Because of certain issues in my life, I have a power struggle with a lot of things, and you know, I'm learning that, and yeah, it's all about taking power back. It's all about getting your confidence and knowing that even if people shut you down, deep in your heart and deep in your mind, you have to know that you are still good enough. And doesn't matter what anybody says or what anybody thinks. It's so, people say that all the time and it just sounds so cliche, but it's so true. Like, I was thinking, like, no, you are good enough. You're good enough, you know? And everyone's like, look how far you've come. In that moment, it didn't matter how far I've come. It didn't matter that I couldn't walk up the stairs without, you know, being out of breath, and that I've lost 120 pounds and 70 something inches and blah, blah, blah. It just was all about that one moment where I thought, wow, I'm not good enough. Like, what am I doing? Like, what have I been doing this whole time, you know? So it was kind of a breakthrough moment for me, and I turned it from something very negative into something positive. And, you know, she doesn't have to think I'm the best. I don't have to be best friends with her or the other girls that are very cliquey. And not that they're mean, it's just, you know, I don't get invited to go out afterwards, and, like, you know, she has her friends. Those are her friends. That's what she does, whatever. I'm the kind of person that I like to include everybody and make everybody feel special. And it just made me realize, like, I'm glad that I'm a nice person and that I get taken advantage of a lot, and I'm very sensitive and I get hurt a lot, but I'm also a nice person and I never make anybody feel left out. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that attribute. So anyway, I'm a Zumba instructor, and I'm excited to learn some choreography, and I'm excited to get some business cards and be part of the Zumba network. The instructor, she's called a ZES, which is a Zumba education specialist. She loved me. She would, like, we bonded. She was awesome. Our personalities clicked, and she was like, you like Amy Schumer? And I'm like, everyone tells me that. But you know, we bonded, and I don't know, I might reach out to her at some point and for motivation. I think she'd be a really good person to keep me motivated and stuff. But I'm on a new journey. I'm an entrepreneur, so I will let you know how that goes. The scale, still 200. On my scale, it says like 199 to 200, but it kind of teeters and totters. It's a doctor scale. But I've been eating a lot healthier, and I realized that the thing that was blocking me from getting me to Wonderland, and the thing that is blocking me, is that I'm kind of afraid to try, because I'm thinking, what if I try and what if I fail? That's the scary part, and that is also a breakthrough for me, where I was thinking, like, I'm eating this really good food and this healthy food, and what if it's not enough? What if I'm not enough? What if? And I realized, like, nope, I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep eating healthy just because I like to do it and because it makes me feel good, and eventually I'll get there. I'm not even worried about the scale right now. You know, Wonderland, it's just a number. Once I hit Wonderland, I want to keep going anyway. So that's where I'm at now. Hope everybody is good, and I will update soon.